the Space Channel, and I'm really excited to introduce your next guest. Your Fan Expo is about to get even more awesome. But before we do, if you have a question for Nathan Fillion, we have a mic right in the middle here, and she's holding it up, so if you want to line up, it's actually going to be an all-audience Q&A panel, so we'll have time to get to a lot of your questions. And we also have on my left here, on your right, that is Vera, sign language interpreter, so she'll be interpreting. Give her a round of applause. If you're like me, you love Nathan Fillion for all of his incredible roles, but also for the fact that he really is somebody who values the support of his fans. That's all of you guys, and Fan Expo is all about you. So thank you so much for coming out this weekend. And let's bring him up. I mean, amazing voice work in the Halo video game franchise, in Destiny, or maybe you love it from Dr. Horrible sing-along vlog, or Firefly, or Castle. Please welcome Nathan Fillion.
No, you're doing great, but the dog is mad about something. It is so good to see you guys. Even you guys way over there and way over there in the crappy seats. Wow. Fan Expo. I was just at Dragon Con yesterday. Swear to God. And I said, hey, you ever have one of these moments where you find a quiet place in your heart and you kind of just take stock of the moment and you go, wow, I'm gonna absorb this entirely and be present entirely and remember this forever. These are those moments for me. If I sound a little bit sick, it's because I'm a little bit sick. If you walk away from meeting me and you get a little bit sick, you're welcome. Thanks. Guys, when we meet in the autograph lineup, it's nice, it's a moment, eye to eye, we're there. But we don't have a ton of time. When we meet in the photograph lineup, we're right there. Some physical contact, but even less time. Hello, goodbye. This is the moment if you have a question inside. Welling up inside you, I need to know this. I need to know this. And I can't Google this. I look at my Instagram and my Twitter sometimes, and people go, hey, I'm just wondering, what's the date that show is going to come out on that one? I don't know. That's stuff you can actually Google that I honestly don't know. But now, this is the moment. You can ask me questions that I actually know. Or anything about Alan Tudyk, which I also know. I believe this is our lineup right here. Is that true?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph? I love that name.
Thank you.
You're the number one question. Don't blow this. Joseph, everyone. Everyone? Joseph. Lay it on me, buddy. What do you got?
So, do you have any upcoming roles in anything?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Joseph. I'm glad you asked. There's some roles I have coming up that I'm not allowed to talk about, Joseph, so I'm glad you asked. And there's also some roles I have coming up that I can tell you about, and one of them is Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate. Spoiler alert, it's really unfortunate, the series of events that happens to me, anyway. Is that good? Is that a good enough answer for you?
Yeah,
You
basically.
did a great job, Joseph. What's your name?
Lydia.
I love your outfit.
Thank you.
Who are you dressed as? Just kidding. It's me, guys. It's me. She's dressed as me.
So I'm a diver myself.
Are you?
I am. And I love the pictures of your diving adventures.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm wondering, kind of two-part, after Bali, how many dives does that make? And what is the favorite dive you've ever done?
Good question. My brother Jeff. Jeff, where are you? Hey, bro. Hey, bud. It's my brother, man. Here's a little hint, you guys. Always swim with a buddy. Always dive with someone who has a vested interest in making sure you live. For me, that's my brother. We are at how many? 121? 121. 121 dives between my brother and myself. Some of our favorites, our second day of diving ever was the Blue Hole. Guys, it's amazing. You go through, well, then you go 3 hours out over swells like this, and then it's a lake. And then there's like a 15-foot deep, pardon? Like a 15-foot deep reef. It's just, it looks like, it's amazing, it's beautiful. And then there's this giant hole in the ocean. It goes straight down, I'm told, about 600 feet. Recreational diving goes to about 130 feet. We go to 140. It gets cold and dark and scary as hell. And your heart's pumping, and you're breathing really fast, and you go, how much air do I have left? 2 minutes! That's not gonna be enough. It's pretty amazing. I think that was one of my favorite dives. We've had a lot of really amazing. Roatan was some amazing dives on the cross. Bali was amazing. We saw some stuff we've never seen before. Where have you been that you like?
Probably my favorite was down in St. Lucia, diving the wreck of the Roraima.
Very nice, clear blue waters. I love it. Nowhere cold, guys. Nowhere cold. And you know, I love sharks. I love seeing sharks. We get super excited. We love to see sharks. Little sharks. If they're about the same size as you, they don't look at you and go, I'll eat it. They look at you and say, are you trying to eat the same fish I'm trying to eat? And that's where you can fall into problems. But when the sharks get really big and they look at you and go, I'll taste that. That's where I'm out. Heights, sharks, and bears. The sharks of the forest. I don't want my last thoughts to be, I shouldn't have climbed up here. Or, oh my God, it's eating my face. My beautiful, beautiful face. Thank you very much. You, sir.
Hi, Nathan.
What's your name?
Adrian.
I knew it.
I don't have a question, I have a complaint.
I'll bite. Where's this going?
I'm from Winnipeg, and you...
I know what your complaint is. And my advice to you, sir, is move south.
But here you are. You call yourself Canadian.
I do.
February, March in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, you post, it's cold. Really? What did you expect?
I remember one day I was walking with some friends of mine. I was wearing long underwear, blue jeans, winter boots, a t-shirt, an overshirt, a sweater, a jacket, gloves, and I had a scarf wrapped about my face and neck and head. My friends were walking with their jackets open, t-shirts underneath, hands in their pockets with tennis shoes, and just strolling down the street. And they're laughing at me, and I said, guys, don't pretend it's not cold. It's about minus 23. And they go, yeah, it's cold, but you can take it. I mean, a fiery brand on your back is not going to kill you, but you don't want it. I say, coming from Edmonton, Alberta, I look around my beautiful hometown and I say, what a gorgeous river valley. Incredible, wonderful, beautiful city. Wonderful people, warm, kind, much like Winnipeg. And Toronto. And I say, this is a beautiful place to live. And yes, in the winter it gets cold, but we have systems in place to keep us warm. Homes and insulation. Things we can survive this winter. But the first people coming across Canada stopped and said, perfect. We only lost 300 this winter. Totally acceptable losses. Let's live here. Have you ever lived in Los Angeles? No. That's what I thought. So, yes, sir, I understand. You can take it. But here's the good news. You don't have to. And you, sir.
Hi.
Tell me your name.
Cody.
Don't what?
Cody, C-O-D-Y.
Cody. Very nice to meet you, Cody.
Nice to meet you too. So, since you've done so many voices, you actually voiced one of my most favorite superheroes, Green Lantern.
You're welcome.
So, my question is, would you be ever interested in playing Green Lantern in the DCEU movies or anything like that? Because I think you definitely have the personality and characteristics to play Green Lantern.
So you're asking me, would I, Nathan Fillion, as an actor, like a job, doing something really super duper cool?
Absolutely.
I'm kind of trying to walk you into it. Wait, I think it started to make a lot of sense to say, well, if someone were to say, here's the deal, I would say, yeah, I'll take that deal. You know what I mean? I'd do that in a heartbeat, right? Yeah, I absolutely would. Not to say that I wouldn't also love to play a villain of some kind. Man, guy, there's a lot of villains out there. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hi,
Tell me your name.
Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi. So yeah, I'm nervous.
I get it. Nikki,
Yes. Okay.
let's
So
find a quiet place in our hearts. Take a deep breath. And, you know what? I want you to just feel the energy. Are you guys having a great time right now? You've been excited about this weekend for a long time. The anticipation has been building. Finally, you're here. Yes. Everybody else is super jazzed to be here. These weekends are an amazing place to be because of the energy in these rooms, in the lineups, in the commissary, getting burgers. The energy is amazing. I love these weekends. Do you feel better?
yes, thank you so much. So in Ready Player One, that's now in my brain.
Yeah.
There is a virtual reality game where you can be any character in any TV show or movie.
Mm-hmm.
If that was a possibility,
Yes.
which would you be?
I would pick Firefly, and I would be Anara. I think I could do some things with that role that would really pretty it up. It's teasing. What show? Okay, I would go for if Greatest American Hero was as good as I remembered it. Don't go back and rewatch it, guys. Some stuff just doesn't hold up. But if Greatest American Hero was as good as I remembered it, I would like to do that. I'd play William Katz's role. I'd do a couple episodes of MASH. And I'd be Frank Burns. I swear to God, you guys, I remember when I was a little, I remember when I was a little young man, I was watching Carol Burnett with my parents, and the actor who played Frank Burns, whose name I can't remember, that's the one, was on camera, just kind of head and shoulders, and he had this big kind of car battery on his shoulder. He goes, go ahead, knock this off, try to knock it off my shoulder. He's so snidey, he's buried in little weasleys, try to knock it off my shoulder. And this giant muscle, greasy arm comes and knocks him right in the face, and he falls out of the camera and the battery stays there. Little ad about the battery, he steps back up to the camera and goes, didn't hurt. Love that guy. And I think I would really enjoy, like in the book, spoiler alert, The Holy Grail. Those are my favorites growing up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi,
Tell me your name.
Deepita.
The first Deepita I've ever met.
Thank you. I always had a plan that if I met another Deepita, I would kill them because
That's fair, and then you absorb all their power.
I would hope so.
There can be only one.
I've heard of another, but I've never met her. But my name actually brings me to the first thing I wanted to tell you, which is when I started watching Castle, I used to live in Bangladesh, and at the time I didn't know that I would be moving to Canada for university, so never had I imagined that I would actually be standing in front of you and be able to communicate with you, so this is pretty surreal right now. And the first episode of Castle that I watched, seeing Richard Castle in that interrogation room, hearing about the guy who stole a police horse naked, he was my definition of perfection. And I know every Castle fan, even though it ran for 8 years, we were all upset when it ended, because we wanted it to go on. We'd never be happy no matter how long it went. And it's something that has been asked before, but it's always been answered, I feel, more from a writer's perspective, where there has been speculation about what plans were if Castle continued. What I want to know is, if Castle could go on, maybe for another 2 seasons, how would you, Nathan Fillion, picture it? What direction would you want it to go in if you had
Wow. Okay, how about this? The world as we know it is dried up and burnt up. We have to go out into space. So Castle buys a crappy old boat, gets a ragtag crew together, and then I just say, I don't know, maybe best of both worlds.
Is there anything about Richard Castle that you feel like you haven't explored, or you wish you could, about him as a character?
Good question. My brother once said to me, Jeff, say hello. My brother, right? My brother once said to me, Nathan, when I watch you on Castle, it's kind of like just watching you. Be you. You ever feel guilty about taking the money? And I said, could you do it? He said, fair enough. What about Castle that we haven't explored? You know, I'm an actor, and I'm not going to tell you I'm the super smartest guy, but I'm smart enough to let smarter people take care of the story aspect of it. I'm great for pepper. I'm a pepper kind of guy. You don't have pepper for dinner, but without it, Sure could use some pepper. I think they did a lovely, lovely job with Castle. One of the things I think about is everybody has a dark side. You just got to dig hard enough. And there were some wonderful episodes where Castle's daughter Alexis, played by the lovely Molly Quinn, was kidnapped. And we talked about and changed a little bit some of these scenes, this interrogation when he had the injured fella on the bed. He was ready to go to some pretty dark places to make sure he got his daughter back. I thought that was a pretty amazing thing. To this guy who's riding high and his life is a fantasy all the time, he dug pretty deep and he got pretty dark, where he took out like a chunk of his soul to make sure he got his daughter back. I think that's love. That made me happy. So I think they did a pretty good job. Thanks. Thank you. And you.
Hey, how's it going, Nathan?
Tell me your name.
Mike.
Mike, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. One of my favorite projects, I mean, everyone loves you for Firefly and Castle and everything. We all love you for a whole bunch of stuff. One of my favorite things you ever did was the movie Slither. And it's sort of a strange movie on paper, and I'm just wondering how it came, how your involvement in the movie came about, and if you could share any on-set memories of the movie.
I remember I auditioned, I want to say on Wilshire Boulevard, maybe Santa Monica. I was in Hollywood somewhere, in a little building. It was me and James in a room. And after the audition, which was a lot of fun, we just had a quick little chat. I said, where are you going to film this? He goes, oh, we're going to go up to Vancouver. I said, no, I'm Canadian. He said, really? Is that right? Being Canadian in an American production that's going to film in Canada has its advantages. It worked out for me really well. I also remember telling James, you know, I've had jobs that are fantastic, where everything falls into place and it's amazing. And I've had jobs where it's difficulties throughout, hurdles that you have to jump over, navigate minefields, it's tough. I've had jobs where it's really great, months that are great. I've had these kinds of jobs. So kind of walk into a job going, so what's this one gonna be? And I'm a little suspicious in the beginning. And he said to me, why? Why not just expect it to be great? Yeah, why don't I just expect it to be great? So I changed my expectations at that point in my life. And Slither was one of those ones where top to bottom, it was great. It was great. All the friends I made on that film are still all the friends I have right now. It's amazing. I love seeing those people. Thank you for asking.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
What's your name? Nice to meet you.
I've been a big fan for a very long time. One of my favorite memories growing up was watching One Life to Live with my Nana.
Ooh, go way back.
Yeah, it's way back. I was just wondering what you learned acting opposite Robin Strasser and Erica Slazak, and if you're still in touch.
Wow, let me tell you guys, I will never speak poorly of daytime. I had a phenomenal time on daytime. Casper Van Dien and I were talking about this the other day. We were both on the same show. He had just left as I was coming in, and he was well liked, to say the least. He was loved on that show. And I talked to other kids my age who were on other shows down the street in Los Angeles, in Brooklyn, different shows all over. There used to be a ton of soap operas, guys, dying green. They had very different experiences than I had. The cast, the crew, the people at One Night to Live took care of me in a way that they were very, very nurturing. Both in my professional life, I don't know what I'm doing. What does it mean when he says that? That's code for I gotta go to the bathroom. Got it, okay. A 10-1 means bathroom, got it. And I also remember them taking good care of me in my personal life, helping me out. In New York, I was a fish out of water, to say the least. Everything I know about how to behave on a set, how to serve the scene, serving other actors, serving the story, serves me. If I want to serve me, I have to serve them. I learned that on One Life to Live. I also had a really amazing time. Bo Buchanan, Bob Woods played Bo Buchanan, real mentor for me. Being between Erica Slazak and Robin Strasser, I couldn't fail. Try to look bad between those two. You can't. You just gotta watch and go, wow. But I remember I was doing a scene with Bob Woods, and in the middle of this scene, we're just talking face to face. He reached out with his leg, and he started pushing me to the side like this. So I moved over, and he went, and we kept doing this scene. I was in his light. And I took that lesson, I carried it on with me, and I remember one day, Molly Quinn said to me, "You're in my light." And I said, "I am your light." Thank you very much. And who are you?
My name's Skylar.
That's what I thought.
So, aside from it being unfortunate, what can you tell us about the stuff coming up in a series of unfortunate events?
Has anybody seen this show? I got a text from Neil Patrick Harris. He says, "Expect this to cross your doorstep. Just know that's this little thing I'm doing, and just pay attention." I said, "Okay," and I know it's on Netflix. So I clicked it on, and I said, "Just watch an episode." I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop watching. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's dark. It's gross. Everything's dead. But it's so beautiful in the way it's dead. And people who are willing to suffer for their art is amazing to me. Neil Patrick Harris is suffering every day for his art. You'll never know it to look at it, but he's suffering every day, hours and hours and hours in makeup like you can't believe. He got a tattoo for the show. Right. Dedication, that guy. He's amazing. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to take this moment to check in with my friends over the far side. How you guys doing over there? Is this the camera? Perfect. I'm looking right at you. How you guys doing down there? I love you. How you guys? These guys. Glad you're doing well. Just gonna check in with you later. All right, who we got?
Hi, Nathan. My name is Nick.
Hi, Nick. Are you reading the question?
Yes.
I love you.
I wrote it down.
Just love you.
So I've got a Destiny question. Your character Kate 6 and Gina Torres' Ikora Ray, in particular, they have a lot of playful jabs in their dialogue. Was this just a coincidence with the characters, or when you both came onto the project, did Bungie say, "You've got some history, we'll let you have fun with it"?
Well, they did write the scripts and all that. I mean, we didn't come up with the repartee by any means, but did they borrow the idea of the relationship that we've already perhaps played or something akin to it? Yeah, I would think so. Yes, indeed. It's something that, oh my God, I can see K6 right in the back right now. Hi, buddy. Good to see you. It's something that I think it works very well, and even more importantly, it's something that I really love and enjoy doing. God, I love working with that lady. She's really wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on 1 second. Now I'm going to check on my friends over here. How you guys doing? Okay, what's this thing? I'm looking right at you. How you guys doing down there? I'm seeing you all. Okay, good. Love your hat. This is nice. Okay, now I'm coming back with you. You, sir.
Hey, I'm Johnny. I have
Nice to meet you,
two
Johnny.
questions. I have one that's kind of long and one that's pretty quick. What was it like working on the set of Rick and Morty with Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon?
Great question. Not so much a set as it is a recording booth. And Justin was in there directing me. And at one point, I had to do Rick. Rick as my character being the bug. And we tried it a couple different ways. It didn't work out great. And what wound up working was we had Justin just come in next to me and just do the line, and I would just do an impression of him. So he would do the line, and I would try to mirror it exactly. That was fun. Those guys are having a great time. Do you watch Rick and Morty? It's obvious they're having a very good time when they're doing that show. And what was your second question?
Can you sing the Firefly theme song?
The answer is no. Your name again was Johnny?
Yeah.
I'm Nathan. You want to be friends?
Yes.
Great. Then don't ask me to sing in front of the internet, having not warmed up. I told you I have a cold. Come on, buddy. Love you, man. Hello. Tell me your name.
I'm Carl.
Hi, Carl.
I also have a 1-2. My first one is Firefly is one of the only sci-fi space universes that I've watched that didn't have aliens, and I was wondering what you thought about how that lent itself to the universe and how it helped sort of build this story.
For me, it seemed to add a bit of realism. It seemed to make the future easier to believe.
And my second one is, how do you think Malcolm Reynolds would deal with it if he came face to face with Gaul?
With who?
With Gaul, Destiny 2.
Gaul?
Yeah.
I call him Gary. I think there would be that moment of kind of staring blank disbelief, and then something dry, like, that's a big guy. Something like that.
Thank you very much.
Tell me your name.
My name is Lisa.
Are you reading your question, or are you recording the...
I'm recording this as proof that I actually asked you this.
Gotcha. Because if you told your friends, they wouldn't believe you because you lie constantly.
Alright, so my question is a bit of a spoiler, but when you were filming Santa Clarita Diet, in the pilot episode, what was it like to get eaten by Drew Barrymore?
Excellent question. In the scene, you will see me walking in with my hand in a kind of an odd position. It was because I was making sure I didn't touch my pants, the fence, the gate. That I washed and washed and washed, scrubbed and scrubbed, because you have to put my fingers in her mouth. I'm really concerned about if anybody has to put anything of mine in their mouth, then it'd be pleasant for everybody. And while that's not the way I was intending to say it, it is nonetheless true. Second part, when she actually devours my entire body, it was 113 degrees in Santa Clarita. It was hot. To do that bit, we dug a pit in the ground, put me in the pit, put some grass over top of me, some boards and some grass, and then put the fake body over top of that and dressed it all up. Turns out, it's really nice and cool underground. So I had a great day. Also, what seems to happen after you have an amazingly wonderful experience on a show like Castle that runs for 8 years and you have 100 guys around you, you guys only see 5 or 6, maybe 8 people that you can say, oh, I know who that is. There's about 100 and some people that are there every day, pardon me, that I know and love and miss terribly. A couple of them were on the set of Santa Clarita Diet. So while I'm sitting there buried in the ground, we're all catching up and having a great day. I was taking lots of pictures. It was really nice. Thank you. Excellent question.
Thank you.
I'm looking over there. My manager's doing this. Lovely. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. My name is Ken.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Actually, my question has been stolen from before, but you've worked with Joss Whedon through a lot of fantastic projects.
That's true. Next question.
All the way through to Much Ado About Nothing, which was great. But what I want to know, like, how has the relationship been working with him over all these years?
I mean, awesome. If you're a Joss Whedon fan, you feel through his work, you understand a little bit of his heart. You have an idea, like, I bet he's kind of like this. And then if you've seen him in interviews, and you've seen the way he's so self-deprecating, the way he's brilliant, kind, you say, I bet that's what he's like in real life. It's true. What you imagine Joss Whedon is probably like is incredibly accurate to what Joss Whedon is actually like. He's really kind and really sweet. And man, that guy loves to dance. Absolutely true.
Thank you. If I can just ask one quick follow-up. In your Rick and Morty episode, your character eats Szechuan sauce. Have you personally tried the Szechuan sauce yet?
I'm not a sauce guy. I'll do gravy, but I won't do sauce. I'll do a little bit of hot sauce on my wings. Super easy sauce, guys. Extra crispy, super easy sauce. If you make it extra crispy and then you drown it in sauce, it's not crispy anymore. I don't want a soggy wing in my mouth. Crispy. And I don't like sweet sauces. I like salt. I like pepper. I am pepper. We've got 10 more minutes. What are you awing about? It's 10 whole minutes. I'm kind of telling you this now. I could have said, guys, that was the last question, then you'd be disappointed. But I'm giving you this so you can kind of, I love your hat. Both of you. Yeah, the one with the hat went looked the other one with the same hat. Yes, ma'am.
I just have to catch my bearings, I'm a little nervous. But I loved you in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. I'm just wondering how was that experience, because it was during the writer's strike and it was such a smaller project than some of the other shows and movies you've done. And is there a favorite Captain Hammer one-liner that really stands out for you?
What was it like? It was pretty amazing. We as actors and writers sometimes feel like the scales are not quite equitable in the distribution of the profits that come in. And that's why there was a strike. And from that feeling of kind of, they're not being fair, we kind of feel helpless to, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start making, StrikeTV.net came up, and guys started producing their own stuff without TV producers. We started putting stuff on the internet that said, we don't need TV. I was talking to one of my then agents at the time, saying, yeah, we're doing this thing, it's going to be really great. She says, yeah, but it's internet. Right? Man, isn't saying that now? Stream anything much? So we felt like we were doing it by ourselves. It felt very freeing and very vindicating. We can do this. We don't really need you. That was kind of we were feeling kind of, it was like a battle. There was a battle going on. So it felt really good to be doing that. And you're doing it with all your friends. So obviously, amazing. And what was the second part of your question?
So what is one of your favorite Captain Hammer one-liners? They're all.
One of my favorite Captain Hammer one-liners was not actually in the show. It was in a comic book I read later that was written by Zach Whedon. What was somebody, I think it was Dr. Horrible, came running around a corner and ran into Captain Hammer, boom, hit him and fell down on the ground. And he said, whoa there, careful. What if I had been a knife? Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Adam.
Hi, Adam.
I I'm a huge fan of Castle, and one of my favorite aspects of that show was how it would pay tribute and homage to different TV shows and popular movies of the past, be it through references or just the premise for a murder in that episode. And it was obviously always resolved in a mostly logical way. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
I get it, except the time travel episode. I get it.
Yes, that was the exception I was thinking of. If you could have chosen a premise for an episode based on something that you enjoy, what do you think you would choose?
I mean, what didn't we do? We went to space. There was alien episode, there was a time travel episode, there was ghosts, there was witches, there was vampires and werewolves. What didn't we do? We kind of, what was it? We did it. Space Cowboy, we did it. The Lost City of Atlantis. How about that? Mer people. The killer was a mermaid. High five. Thank you.
Hi. What was it like working on the show Drive?
Thanks for asking. It was actually pretty cool.
That was probably one of my favorite shows back, like when it was on. And
Yeah, right. For the hot second it was on.
It was really cool. I really liked that show.
Thanks for doing that. So those of you who don't know, I did a show called Drive about an illegal cross-country road race with a $32 million jackpot that my character had to race in because they kidnapped his wife and said, if you don't win, you don't see her again. It was a pretty gnarly concept and a super fun show to do. And every day I went to work and I sat in this super cool muscle car and I would do things like peel the tires out all the time. And they would say, okay, on this next take, can you peel the tires out a little more? Yes, I can. And I was always sitting next to the lovely Kristen Lehman, who some of you may know because she's an incredible actress who works constantly, who's from Toronto. And aside from being beautiful and wonderful and talented, she's incredibly smart. And I would walk away from work every day feeling like I learned something. I'm a little bit smarter today about a couple of different things. So I was having a really good time, a really, really good time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've got 2 minutes left. That means this is probably the last question. Yeah, right? So if the rest of you want to sit down and get comfortable, I mean, now's the time. Sir.
Hi, my name is Chris.
Yes, it is.
So I'm a fan of playing Destiny. I have a lot of hours logged into it, and one thing I noticed is how Cade has become more of a staple within the universe itself. It started with a simple thing saying, hey, take me with you, and now he's a major character within the story. What I want to ask is, what was it like noticing the character grow more, and can we expect more of that in Destiny 2 next week?
To your second question, yes.
Sweet.
To your first question, what was it like? I think, I find that there is a lot to be mined from a character that is flawed. When I first started out acting on All Night to Live, I wanted my character to be well-liked, so I wanted everybody to like me. So I wanted to be perfect. Nobody likes somebody who's perfect, as a matter of fact. People like someone they can actually judge or say, I actually know better than he does. And I learned that later on Two Guys and a Girl when I played Johnny Donnelly. And they said, by the way, now your character's cheap. I'm like, really? Oh man, and I hated it. And then I realized, wait a second. The director would say, okay, Nathan, I need you over here in the living room, and I need to get you into the kitchen by like the third line. How are you gonna do it? And I said, okay, I am over here at the couch, looking for change in the cushions. The change I find, I bring to the kitchen because there's a jar with a note on it and a calculator. And I add it up, and I calculate it, and I add it to the number that's already on the jar. And I'm saving it all this month. This is my couch jar. There's a lot to be mined in flaws. Castle, bit of a dick. I wouldn't hang out with him for any length of time. But what I think we all see and love about him is that he goes home to his mother and to his daughter, and we see that he doesn't rule the roost, that he's at the bottom of that totem pole. It humanizes him a little bit. But I enjoy knowing better than Castle. I enjoy being more sensitive than Castle. I enjoy that I can go, you dummy, you dummy, you blew it. I love being able to judge him. Wonderful. Is that it? That's all the time? You guys, let's find a quiet place in our hearts. Take stock of this moment that we had together. You guys, way over on the edge. You guys, way over on the edge. My peoples. I've said it before, you guys. I can't imagine my life without days like these. Thank you very much.